Since the invention of the calendar, years have been numbered in different systems in different times. Today we number them with BC and AD system. This system has its root in Christianity. BC stands for before Christ, meaning before the birth of Jesus Christ, and AD stands for Anno Domini. Anno Domini is the Latin for in the year of the Lord. This system is the timeline whereby the years before the birth of Jesus are counted from middle to the left, while the years after the birth of Jesus are counted from middle to the right. In English, it is common for AD to precede the year, so the translation of AD 2022 would be in the year of the Lord 2022. It's much Christian and it started like this. In the early Middle Ages, the Christian had the problem of when to celebrate Easter. The first Council of Nicaea in AD 325 calculated the day to celebrate Easter. It was decided that Easter would fall on the Sunday following the full moon that follows the spring equinox. These calculations were set forth in documents known as Easter tables. Basing on these tables, a monk named Dionysius Exiguus, sometimes called Dionysius the Small, of Sincere Minor, introduced the AD system in AD 525. He was counting years since the birth of Christ. Dionysius never said how he determined the date of Jesus' birth, but he may have used surviving writings from early Christians such as Clement of Alexandria or Eusebius of Caesarea to help him estimate the date of Jesus' birth. Dionysius attempted to set AD 1 as the year of Jesus Christ's birth, but according to modern estimation, he was off in his estimation by a few years. The modern estimation placed Christ's birth at around 4 BC. Dionysius devised his system to replace the Diocletian system, named after Diocletian, who was a Roman emperor from AD 284 to AD 305. This system used the number of years since Diocletian became the emperor of Rome. The first year in Dionysius' Easter table, Anno Domini 532, followed the year Anno Diocletian 247. Dionysius made the change specifically to do away with the memory of Diocletian, who had harshly persecuted Christians. Diocletian issued edicts that resulted in the killing or imprisonment of many Christians and the burning of their churches and scriptures. The addition of the BC component happened 2 centuries after Dionysius. In AD 731, the Venerable Bede of Northumbria published his Ecclesiastical History of the English People. This work brought the AD system to the attention of more people and expanded it to include years before AD 1. Prior years were numbered to count backward to indicate the number of years an event had occurred before Christ, or BC. This to say, if the event happened in 17 BC, this means the event happened 17 years before the birth of Christ. The timeline seems to have two diverging directions, one starting from 1 BC to the Dark Times, another starting from 81 to the present. However, the exact direction of time is only one, stretching from most past times to the present time. This to say, 2000 BC is more past than 200 BC, but AD 2000 is more recent than AD 200. In BC AD system, there is no year zero. Why? There was no year zero in Bede's update system, and the concept of the number zero had not appeared in Western Europe. To Bede, also ignorant of the number zero, the year that came before AD 1 was 1 BC. There was no zero year. After all, to Bede, zero didn't exist. I think if you think of writing zero in Roman numbers, you'll be building castles in the air. However, zero existed. Our modern conception of zero was first published in AD 628 by the Indian scholar Brahmagupta. The idea would not spread to medieval Christian Europe until the 11th and 13th centuries. The BC AD system became more popular in the 9th century after whole Roman Emperor Charlemagne adopted the system for dating acts of government throughout Europe. By the 15th century, all over Western Europe had adopted the BC AD system. The system's inclusion was implicit in the 16th century introduction of the Gregorian calendar, and it later became an international standard in 1988 when the International Organization for Standardization released the ISO 8601, which describes an international accepted way to represent dates and times. However, in recent years, the BC AD system has been secularized by using BCE instead of BC and CE instead of AD. BCE stands for Before Common Era, while CE stands for Common Era. This has been done deliberately to make non-Christians comfortable to use the system.